Hello, everyone, and welcome back to I've Got Next. I'm joined, as always, by Smeef Erickson.
Hello.
And today we have finally made it to the Titan hangar, and we get to see what exactly a Titan is.
I've noticed in almost every game that has a railgun, it's basically it looks like you're walking around with a Tesla cannon.
Yeah, I suppose in real life, railguns are probably pretty boring considering they're just magnets. I mean, I've
Hmm.
seen that naval one fire that just, like, the projectile would be awesome because it kind of ignites and self sharpens as it goes, but yeah, just carrying a gun that has a magnet in it.
Yeah, the smallest scale ones can only fire a nail through a soup can at the moment.
Mm. But the weather is picking up on our planet, which usually means there is chaos afoot. And we get a cool little, if you remember from our look at the Power Wash
Yeah, look at
simulator,
that.
this one belonging to the Space Marine chapter of the Raptors.
Well, those thunder effects, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, oh no, that's a statue of a space marine.
Oh yeah, on top of the ramps there.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a. I know they have another name, but I still call them the Ed 209s. That is those are the chaos.
Yeah, Chaos Space Marines.
I like how they
I,
somehow have taken the Space Marine and by being chaos, it makes them even chunkier.
oh, it certainly does. They're also mutating, so
Ah,
there's a specific group of Chaos Space Marines that are the possessed, which they've just absorbed too many demon souls in chaos, and they have pretty much given up on the ability to use a gun and instead have like big claws and half formed wings and things like that.
kind of reminds you from the. Speaking of capturing souls, kind of reminds you of the Junker from Deadlands.
Oh, yeah, yeah, very much.
Good. Let Ardius pass as I instructed. Don't let any more Space Marines through the perimeter.
Well, I'm trying.
I'm not sure how. It seems weird. The Space Marines are the Chaos Space Marines in here are really up for the task of telling on themselves, being like, yeah, we can't hold back the Ultramarines. um, and generally, Chaos Space Marines don't follow humans, so something must be going on here. And still got chaos goo everywhere. A little strawberry jam. Ah,
Oh, what's that guy doing a shimmy?
it's the latest craze.
He had some dances going. I know that was that one of the Chaos Marines that like they move really fast and it's hard to hit, and I guess he
Yeah,
got
yeah,
stuck in an animation loop.
Well, the enemies also get stuck on the geometry, and unfortunately, or fortunately for me, the destroyed room and little chunks of rock there in the middle
Oh,
catch them just as much as they catch you.
well, it's fair at least.
Yeah. I like these alien Independence Day corridors here. I don't know how to describe it. They've just
I was
these
gonna say,
rounded halls.
yeah, it's gonna kind of remind you of
Check the bodies around here.
Stargate a little way. It's a Fargate.
Now, the enemy know you are coming for them.
Yeah, thanks, Ardius. And in here we have the actual Titan hangar. There's its feet.
Oh wow. Wait, that's
So
the Titan robot.
yeah, so one of these things generally deployed can break a planet if they need to.
The Death Star with legs.
Kind of, yeah. They'll. There's a Chaos Knight afoot, or a Chaos Sorcerer afoot. But they usually deploy in like packs of 3 to take out an entirely, enemy-held planet.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Oh, what was that weapon?
That's the rail gun, and they have the same shield that the Adeptus Mechanicus guys had. So they just, when you kill them, kind of black hole into a little ball.
Okay, that's okay. So that was his death animation.
Mm-hmm. But here, we're here to destroy this giant robot thing.
Get started now. We might be done in 5 years.
Yeah. And this isn't even like the biggest one, although in the lore these things have changed scale quite a few times. In some of the books and the older lore, like entire armies would fit inside of this thing, and so you would have like squads of Imperial Guard holding the line against people invading the leg, kind of thing.
Ah.
Ardius trying the age-old technique of negging.
It's like a less subtle Trojan horse.
Yeah, exactly. From here on out, all of the combat just kind of becomes a slog.
Mm-hmm.
Every encounter drains all your health.
Ah.
At last. Now you have the key. Get to the next level. I'm sending you coordinates of where you need to set the charges. I shall try to locate the admiral.
Ardius just, I'm doing stuff. Realize you're kind of single-handedly taking on the armies of chaos, but
Charges need to be set in the following coordinates. Left and right knee joint, the front waist bearing, and the main head controls. That is 4 charges in all.
Well, he's giving you a laundry list.
yeah.
So, Ardius, what was it you were doing again? It's important, I assure you.
You must place bombs on the big toe, then the taint. They're just never fun to encounter.
Yeah. Oh, I like the pauldron. It's like a Necronomicon.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah, I would say there are some Space Marine or Chaos Space Marine chapters that are just Necronomicon themed. But flayed skin, and sometimes those pauldrons are metal that's shaped. Sometimes it's because they're possessed with demons in them. Oh no, they're protecting the taint.
Pelvic ramp.
Look, you'll understand when you get older.
I was just trying to make a joke about it, but it kind of did it on its own.
Also, I kind of like what a simple thing it is, but the moths and flies around the lights.
Yeah, I was noticing that.
Just like 1 pixel, but it kind of a neat little effect, and I like it.
Yeah, but you know what it is.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for like simple yet effective animations. Now the meat and potatoes of the level is just kind of walking back and forth through this, opening up the pelvic ramp to get to bomb placement areas and things like that.
You're gonna thrust right into that pelvis? Yeah, sorry, it was low-hanging fruit.
I mean, not on this guy. It's like 2 stories up. I was a little confused here because there was, in one playthrough, a Chaos Sorcerer spawns behind you there, but it just did not happen. So, a lot of rote combat now. Just find ye plasma rifle. Put 2 shots into every Space Marine, 1 shot into every Raptor.
Nice. I
But
do
also,
like that the Raptors are like very, very vaguely. The screams that they're making are vaguely reminiscent of the Raptors from Jurassic Park.
they are, according to lore, they're very prideful and haughty. And so, in their desire to become faster and enter the battle first, they have just kind of like mutated and pushed themselves now to just being stuck in these suits.
Mm-hmm.
Boop, boop, boop.
Now, do they have, like, with their eagerness to go into a battle, is there like a Valhalla for them?
Not for them. They are, well, in essence, they all serve chaos gods and believe they'll be rewarded, which in some cases, yes, some cases, no. There's actually a very funny story about an orc who loved fighting so much that he descended into hell, basically, the chaos realms, and went to the god of war, the chaos god of war, Khorne, and just started murking his dudes. And Khorne liked this idea so much that he resurrected him and just was like, here, I'm going to test every single chaos champion against you forever, all eternity. And for him, that's like paradise. So
Yeah.
it's like the one happy ending for a character in the 40k universe is he gets to fight forever against the strongest things in the universe.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll a lot of back and forth here. So I thought, what a lovely intermission while I figure out where I'm actually supposed to be going.
I hear
And I
pages.
thought I have my Imperial Infantryman's Uplifting Primer, the Damocles Gulf edition here, which is pretty much like an in-lore Imperial Infantryman's like guidebook. A very interesting read. It actually has proper military procedure for doing things like crossing streets under guard and things like that. But it has quite a few prayers and incantations. So I thought I would read a few and see if you could guess when you are supposed to say these things.
All right. Are they in Latin?
They are not, but they very
Okay.
well could be. So, how about the Canticle of Appeasement?
The Canticle of Appeasement.
The Canticle of Appeasement. Now,
Is it like a blood price?
no, not particularly. These are all, I will say, strictly prayers.
Oh, okay.
Recitations. I would say a good place to start would be to think like the Catholic Church guys with the censers filled with incense.
Okay, so incense. Oh yeah, those are used for various reasons. Some to wash away bad spirits. Others, it's meant to be like a fragrance unto the gods.
So, in that way, it's sort of close. So the Canticle of Appeasement is to be recited to the machine spirits when stripping a weapon. So, the Imperium of Man are dumb in their technological advancement. They believe that, everything, including the plasma rifle you're holding, has a spirit inside of it. So the Canticle of Appeasement is when you're field stripping a weapon to clean it, you recite this so that the machine spirit inside of it doesn't rebel and the gun will still work. And it is as follows. Be still, spirits. I do what I must. Forgive the intrusion and give me your trust.
Oh, so they're making the gun demons naked.
And then there are ones, like for instance, the Litany of Unjamming.
That one's pretty self-explanatory.
Exactly. To be recited when clearing a jammed weapon. Spirits of the machine.
Damn it!
Yeah, all of those could just be this. Spirits of the machine god, aid your servant and free his weapon, so he may use it to break your foes.
So while you're reciting the prayer, are you just angrily beating the gun?
Yeah, just punching it. I assume they also do the Litany of Unjamming whenever the TV goes on the fritz.
Slapping it on the side.
The Litany of the Rabbit Ears. Pray thee, Lord, move thy antenna 2 angles to the left.
No, wait. Dad said back to the right.
So we have activated the pelvic ramp and placed the bomb there. So now we're headed up to the head controls.
Yeah, you are.
I do like how quiet it is. It's weird having no music in a video game, but it kind of suits this atmosphere of a world slowly leaching towards chaos.
And like depending on where you're at, there is always, no matter where you're at, there is always a hum of some kind.
So how to get into this room, and I had forgotten that no door is locked just by like a key or a switch.
Oh, you were meant to press the button.
Oh no, you have to completely like bypass this area and go to another. There's a boss fight in between here and that doorway.
Someone's got a thing set up for kebabs.
Yep. You know, have a gyro while you're hanging out. Alrighty. So, in that way, let us look at another prayer that you might throw out while fighting in the 40K universe. Let's say Litany of the Vacuum.
I really want it to be for a vacuum cleaner.
Me too.
But I'm guessing it's going to have to do something to do with the vacuum of space.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. To be recited when in open space travel.
Yeah.
It's sadly not very exciting when said out loud, but how about this is probably my favorite named one. Blessing of the Bomb.
Okay. Please don't let this go off in my face.
Pretty much. To be recited when priming an explosive. You are a weapon of men, a bright, short light to blast the foe when darkness descends.
And then you're just gonna. Are we just gonna get down to the list where it's like home appliances, like like Chronicles of the Dishwasher?
Exactly, the litany for getting lint out of the dryer.
The litany of have you tried turning it off and then back on?
That's a good one. Kicking myself for not thinking of that one.
Okay, so it is kind of funny how just like mundane some of the prayers are, but I mean it's all battle related, but I could see it be like they have to say a prayer for every little thing that they do, which sounds exhausting.
It really does, and I would say for the Space Marines, it's incredibly exhausting because their day consists of like 12 hours of prayer, followed the rest by battle and training and martial training, and then like 2 hours for sleep because they're Space Marines and don't really need to sleep. Here's a weird fact about Space Marines. They have acidic spit, or like poisonous spit.
Like regular Space Marines?
Yeah, yeah. They have a poison gland that they can build up poison in. It doesn't seem to be super useful, but they can also ingest poison and then like repurpose that and like build immunity to it or use it as a weapon.
Like a Komodo dragon.
Yeah, it's weird, and some of their abilities are like when they were written to be Mary Sue's. It's like, oh yeah, also they've got poisonous spit mouths and 3 hearts and 14 extra organs.
Such plentiful organs.
My squiddly squooch. So this looks like a boss arena.
It do. It's even rather circular and open.
And now we have a lovely little boss fight, which is one of my favorite units that I actually get to field. Oh, well, not this jackass. Get out of here. He really thought he was going to be the guy. And they only
Okay.
throw one of them at you before the boss. Whoa.
He's wearing an
This is-
X-wing.
Yeah, exactly. He just has a modified X-wing on the back. But this is a Chaos Demon. This is what all Chaos Space Marines aspire to be. And his tactics include one trick. Whenever you look at him, he teleports behind you. And so, fighting him is spinning around in a circle and shooting behind you.
Oh, that sounds moderately annoying.
It's a little annoying. Because as you can see, I'm shooting and missing every time.
You should use that trick like they did in Hitchhiker's Guide, with the someone else's problem field. You have
He
to look
almost
at it
ha-
without directly looking at it.
Yeah, that's exactly what you kind of have to do is aim, look a little to the left, because as soon as you look at them, he just teleports.
Oh.
Now, we'll say, apologize for the loud, the
I
loud
did-
grinding noise.
Well, I was laughing at the celebratory jumps.
Yeah, gotta have your fun where you can.
Boy, did someone turn on a Starfield?
You know what? They started making their espresso.
Ah, the demon went rogue.
Yep. The machine spirit. They didn't recite the litany of, oh, man. God. Just smooth.
Demon comes out. You asked for mocha, but I gave you espresso.
God damn it. I'm going to think on this what litany you would recite for your coffee machine. The litany of smooth flavor.
Ah, there you
Okay.
go. For bold
Sure, I'll
flavor.
think. Yeah. The litany of robusto.
Does anybody remember the litany of black with a little cream? I love
but-
that. I love the fact that they're these real hardcore Space Marines, but they have to have their macchiatos.
It's like the Americano, how that came to be. And it was... So American soldiers and GIs in Vietnam really were like... this may be apocryphal, but, they were hardcore killers and things like that.
Mhm.
But they really didn't like strong coffee. So
Yeah.
the Americano came out so they would mix it with water.
Ah.
But going back to, as we finish up this first level here, going back to the demon fight, they actually pull quite a few of the demon's tabletop abilities in, like its teleportation, which, is one of the reasons I really like it. And then it has a little arm-mounted plasma cannon, although it's just kind of a demon cannon. And I like
Dude,
it. I thought it was a
where
good
the
fight.
fuck were you?
I got us a totally bitching ride.
All right, I'm less mad now.
80.
Now here's an actual question in relation to the gameplay. In teleportation, I notice like every time I see someone, like when I've tried to learn about playing it, the tape measures come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that you can only teleport so many inches, as far as the field's concerned.
With the new rules, at time of recording, 10th edition came out a little while ago. Now Ardius is very shy, and I can barely hear him. Speak up, buddy. But you teleport anywhere on the board. It just has to be 9 inches away from an enemy.
Okay.
Now I do like that. I don't know if you could tell that particular. Oh, there's a rocket. That particular Space Marine there had his helmet off, and you could tell he was mutated, had some horns and things.
Mm-hmm.
I like this as we're approaching the.
What's with the dance? Is he dancing?
He was doing a little jig. I'm not gonna say he wasn't. But enemies are starting to, at least in some small way, look more and more chaosy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that doesn't look good.
Yeah. Doodly 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 doodly.
That is a beach ball sized rocket he's firing.
Commenced to jiggling. Oh God. Meanwhile, this raptor just no shot.
Mm-hmm. I do like his plasma. Like he's firing it at you, but his plasma round it just kind of fizzles out before it can make it to you. So where did Captain No Help run off to?
You know, around. He's doing stuff. So we find ourselves back in the trenches.
With more spikes.
Yeah. A lot of 8-pointed stars, which is the Chaos Space Marine symbol.
Ah.
Generally, not a specific chapter, but Chaos in general is represented by an 8-pointed star.
Okay.
And super interesting thing that doesn't come up and isn't really up front in the game itself, but generally the different Chaos gods don't like working together. You got Nurgle, Slanesh, Tzeentch, and Khorne. Also, this is a trap, but not in the way you're thinking. Well, stuck on geometry.
Ah.
But in the game, you see symbols for all of the Chaos gods.
Mm-hmm.
And they go into bigger depth in the book, but this is from a time in which something called Chaos Undivided was still around, and there was a...
Aw.
But, so there was a way to worship kind of all 4 Chaos gods and play them off of each other, which is something the big bad is trying to do. Spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
I do
So we
wish.
find our-
It's kind of harsh, like because you can tell some time was put into these game models. But you don't really get a good chance to look at them.
Mm. Yeah, it would be cool to have a little like model viewer that you could unlock. It just vorps them out of existence.
Yep. Well, so was that a minigun you were trying to pick up?
No, there's another one of the railguns, the Tau railguns.
Oh, okay. So this time I won't be getting it.
Yes. Geometry just is so sticky in this. I'd also say that coming up is where... Oh, you're not going to get me this time. Ha!
So, are
The
they
combat-
essentially trying to open a portal to hell?
Pretty much. Anytime where you hear the warp, the Chaos Marines themselves kind of live in hell. Just warp-controlled space. Which is kind of like a rift into another dimension.
Okay.
And so that's why they can teleport, is they're just coming from the other side. Generally, they show up to a battle by like warping in or traveling from a place called the Eye of Terror, which is like a big black hole to hell.
Okay.
In fact, space travel for the Imperium of Man actually cuts a hole into hell itself in order to travel through to shorten distances.
Oh, you know what else did that?
Yeah.
The movie Event Horizon.
So Event Horizon is usually hailed as a good depiction of Warhammer 40k. Looking into the Chaos world, or in the Chaos realm.
Okay.
And Sam Neill, always a pimp.
As always. Early Lawrence Fishburne before The Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I unironically like that movie. It was the last movie I watched that actually scared me.
It's a pretty good one.
Well, I mean, so it was kind of like doing what because you were talking about so basically it's a warp drive, but in creating this warp drive, you pass through hell, and there's no explanation for it. It's just that's what it is.
Yeah, and I would say that it's the same basic principle in 40k, except for the fact that they have something called a Giller field, which is shields against specifically hell.
Mm-hmm.
So they can they have a Giller field generator, and a lot of times those Giller field generators fail in interesting and story-filled ways.
Okay.
So every time a ship travels through the warp, it's just a hair's breadth away from being swarmed and possessed by demons.
Are we seeing ghosts now?
Yeah, chaos sorcerers. Just being all sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
We're fighting through the Egyptian level from GoldenEye,
Yes.
where you fight Jaws, and then if you know the right steps, you can get the golden gun.
Nice. But no one gets to pick Hat Job.
I like that you called him Hat Job. Oh, we got some a weird ambient scream. Also, every time the screen flashes red, it means something's spawning in,
Oh, okay.
and so it just puts you on edge.
Yeah, usually flashing red means you're taking damage, so that can be a bit off-putting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike that as a mechanic, because it's certainly when you're playing through, and because you're so fragile, that it doesn't... I do my quick 180 when anything teleports away.
Mm-hmm.
It does a good job of kind of making you a little panicky and look around. I really want this game to get a remake so that I can play it with good controls. Oh my god.
Boy, speaking of GoldenEye, I mean, we all played the game and we all loved it, but boy, is it hard to go back to when you're used to using 2 accesses.
I would say it's worth checking out the remake, which adds mouse support and better controls.
Ooh.
The game is incredibly easy after that, but it is a blast to play through.
Yeah. And you could probably get a modded graphic update.
Oh yeah. It has some graphical updates too. Also, Ardius, you could be a little more supportive.
I didn't miss what he said.
It's just like, you're falling behind. You're slow. You're dumb.
Hey, Ardius, where you been at, buddy?
You can see they get a little different animation so that guy died and then got back up.
Oh.
And he was doing like a limp and he's kind of repossessed, and here we are in a cool
Earth splitting open.
Yeah. Volcano? Is it lava?
Magma.
Aha.
Get stuck on it.
Not worth it.
What is that, a bolt?
This is the
Bolter?
Oh no. So this is the gun that's kind of like the flamethrower, but uses a jet engine.
Oh, nice.
The Melta gun. It's an anti-armor weapon, but it just does not have the ammo, and its range is not there compared to the plasma rifle.
I do like that door is specifically designed just to shoot flames out of its nose.
Yeah. I mean, say what you will. They've got some pretty good D&D 3.5 aesthetics where, like, I wonder if we're in an evil temple. No, I got too close. I got too close to the strawberry jam.
Oh, that kills you?
Oh, yes, it does.
Also, that is a. I don't think. I guess we haven't. Maybe we haven't seen it before. I have not seen that death screen.
Yeah, it was, I think, a unique one. Although I've been trying not to die as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, that streak will break very quickly. The final slog to the credits is not fun, combat-wise.
The sorcerers are very breathy.
Yeah. They just want a monologue, and they don't get the chance.
Yeah.
Hear screams. Where are they at?
But
Alrighty.
I do like that you've reached the point in the game to where you're not getting small weapons anymore.
Oh!
Whoops. Oh, there's your GoldenEye death screen.
Yeah. I would say the main reason the combat in this later bit is so unfun is because the checkpoints are kind of unforgiving in the last 2 levels before the boss.
Yeah. I realized that 40K came out a little probably before Fallout, but some of the Chaos armor looks like what is the opposing members of the Brotherhood?
Oh, the Enclave.
Yeah. It kind of looks like some of their armor.
Well, let me look it up because
I know
first edition
Fallout was like 90s.
Yeah, so Warhammer 40K beat them, but just by a little bit. The first edition of the rule book was September 1987.
Okay.
And I do believe the kind of like bones of that was released before that with Rogue Trader was the name of the book. Oh man, sorry, I reached a rabbit hole because I just found out there's a Rogue Trader film with Ewan McGregor. Not 40K based, it's actually about the stock market. Less exciting now.
But it does have Space Marines for some reason.
Yeah, they're just in the background.
The litany of should I sell or hold?
Alright, I think we have reached the other side of the tower and thus are treated to a checkpoint.
Nice.
Oh, you know what that grinding noise is? It's the Chaos Marine garbage disposal. Mine sounds just like it.
There's a loud. I don't use mine anymore because it makes a really loud sound that I'm worried it's gonna send shrapnel out somewhere.
Oh, looky here.
A Stargate.
Yeah.
I mean, a Fargate. It's Fargate.
Pretty prominently displayed on the left there is the purple symbol for Slanesh, and on the right, the symbol for Nurgle.
Okay, so they do
don't know
work
what-
together sometimes.
In this specific case, which is old and Chaos Undivided has kind of been retconned. Although there are plenty of rumors, and they're like, hey, what if we threw an army of raptors at you?
Seems easy.
In the background, behind those two barriers, is a symbol that looks very blocky, which I'm sure we'll get another look at it here, but that is the symbol of corn.
So I'm guessing with 3 gods that do not get along,
And there is a
would
fourth.
be. Oh, excuse me. With the 4th, and all the gods in the chaos don't get along. I'm assuming that there would be a lot of infighting.
Yes, 100%. They love dicking each other over almost as much as they like, killing humans. Like Korn, he's the god of war, specifically really loves melee combat, to the point where none of his guys they do, but generally they frown on it, especially in the cultists and the fervent worshippers. They don't use ranged weapons. The only thing he cannot stand is sorcerers, and absolutely refuses to have anything to do with them. Slaneshi, the purple one there, is all about excess. They are gluttony, greed, sexual overdosing, drugs. They do a lot of things where they'll sneakily kind of infiltrate an imperial settlement or city and start like a cool cult for the rich kids.
Oh.
In which they do a lot of drugs and have some cool sex, like eyes wide open or eyes wide shut,
Okay.
and then slowly corrupt them and turn them to chaos. They have some particularly cool units, like the Emperor's Children. They have what's called the Noise Marines, which are, I think I talked a little bit when we were looking at, oh god, I hate those little things. When we were looking at the Bolt Gun Warhammer game, but they love sound so much and noise that they build audio rifles that kill people by blasting them with sounds.
Nice. The brown note.
Yeah, that's the exact joke we made.
Circling back.
Yep. So then you have Nurgle, which is disease, decay, but also immunity to disease and everlasting life. Basically filling you with so many diseases that you become immune to diseases. And then the one not shown here, which, having beaten the game several times, is a bit of a lore reason, is Tzeentch isn't here. And Tzeentch is all about plans within plans. To the point where he's like, yeah, I'll dick everyone, including my own guys, over because of some mysterious plan in the future. Whether or not he actually can or can't. Ouch. I was waiting for him to teleport, and then the rocket just goes through him anyways.
Seems fair.
Oh my god.
Oh, he got you.
Yep.
Now there
But
is
hey.
that little bit that game that I showed you that one time, Battle Sisters.
Yeah, Sisters of Battle, the VR game.
Yeah, so they are the psychos are in there at least to an extent, but
Yeah, they're-
they remind me a lot. At least the psychos in there remind me a lot of the psychos from Borderlands.
Yeah, I mean, the cultists are that kind of generic humans that are super fervent, so they depict it by laughing maniacally and saying their catchphrase. As you can see, I have now made a mistake and summoned all the raptors and the demon at once.
Should go over well.
Also, I should say that they're not just chaos demons. They're called demon princes, which I kind of enjoy.
Really?
Yeah, it implies a monarchy and that there's a demon king somewhere. For all you lore heads. Yep, stab in the back.
Oh, he must look all kinds of grody. Like the more mutated you are, the higher up in the patriarchy you are.
Yeah, Khorne has some actual full-on, basically Balrogs that are called bloodletters. Bloodletters or bloodthirsters. There's a lot of blood and thirst and kill in the Khorne camp. But there is a demon prince called Be'lakor who's kind of graduated to full-on demon at this point. And one of the non-canon lore things for him is that he's actually trying to become a fifth god of chaos, kind of a rebirth of chaos undivided.
I got you.
I don't think there's anything substantiating that, but it's a cool story, and I kind of like dig it.
So this Khorne wouldn't happen to be spelt with a K and a backwards R, would it?
Generally, no. They do sometimes field freaks on leashes, though. It is spelled with a K, but a Khorn.
Oh, okay.
There is also the lovely jokes of corn flakes.
Well, I mean, they couldn't spell it how it sounded phonetically because that would just be silly.
Yep.
I mean, okay, well, I mean, you got a few good hits in on him before he decided to teleport.
Yeah. What if I told you this is not the last time we'll be fighting a demon prince?
I wouldn't be surprised.
These things are kind of they're kind of a glass cannon, or at least mine is, and it may be just because I'm bad at the tabletop game. But they, you know,
Chaos?
the demon princes. Like I've got my wings on mine, so generally they fly, they move pretty good distance, and then kind of you want to get them into combat or hit, and then get them somewhere safe where they can't be retaliated against, because generally they don't last when people can see to shoot at them.
Mm-hmm.
So against all my better judgment, I guess we better jump in this Stargate.
Gonna have to jump.
And immediately we get bamboozled by an obliterator and a chaos sorcerer.
Hoodwink,
It's like,
one
hey, I
might
know.
say.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I know you just went through a boss fight, but here, have a fucking damage sponge and something that teleports and casts lightning at the same time. I'm using the pistol variant of the plasma, which not as powerful, but does fire a little bit faster. And now I'm already out of ammo. Yeah, got him.
Nice.
Right at the end of the teleport. It is 100% possible to get stuck on the edge of this little arena and thus have to start over.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, there's some real frustrating bits that I have experienced while playing this game.
Well, I'm also like, even though your reticle is red and indicating that it is on target, your bullets will still miss.
Yeah, no hit scan weapons, unfortunately. So the lightning has to travel to them, I guess. Yay!
Huh.
All right, and there we have it. We bring ourselves pretty much to the end of another chapter here, and only one more video to go.
This one was exciting.
Yeah. So as usual, I am Austin, and I've been joined by Smeef.
We'll see you later.
See you next time on I've Got Next.